Who is the New York Ripper? We hear of this serial killer in episode 4 when Leon Prater gives Dexter a tour of his vault, showing off a bunch of different serial killer artifacts, from killers from real life, like John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and to killers we know from the show, the Trinity Killer and the Ice Truck Killer. The New York Ripper was mentioned twice this episode, once in the vault displaying his weapon of choice, and again later when Detective Wallace was speaking about it to Detective Olivia. Both Prater and Wallace made a point of emphasis that the New York Ripper was never caught. So this leads to the question, who could it be? Is it somebody in the show we've already met? I think the most obvious person on who this can be is Leon Prater. We know there is something with Prater, something devious at hand. Could this be it? When Prater was speaking about the New York Ripper, he said the killer terrorized the streets I grew up on. My point is that Prater would have intimate knowledge of the area, making it possible. We find out in episode 5 that Prater was an orphan, that when he was young his parents died in a drunk driving accident. He was in the back seat at the time. From this show we know that childhood trauma tends to play a role in the formation of serial killers. Obviously Dexter, but his brother Brian Mosier as well. In episode 4, while in the vault, Prater says something about Brian Mosier. He says, maybe if Brian Mosier had someone to talk to, someone like himself, he still would be with us today. Which could be a reason why Prater puts on these serial killer dinner parties. Just having like-minded people to talk to about murder stuff helps with his psyche. I think these dinner parties also help Prater keep that monster at bay. It helps scratch the itch to kill. Prater wants all these grisly details about the murders they commit, and wants the other killers to have presentations on their process, their next victims, etc. I think he's vicariously living through these people, and it's helping him not wanting to murder. Prater has a lot to lose. He's rich, he does a lot of charity work. Even though what he is doing is still kind of illegal, it's not as illegal as murdering people. We still don't know what the New York Ripper's shtick is, what their type is. Like Dexter goes after other killers, Lowell goes after tattoo people. What does the New York Ripper go after? When this gets revealed, I think we'll be able to connect the dots a little bit more. The next possible suspect is Charlie, Prater's loyal bodyguard worker person. We've seen Charlie killing, so we know she's capable of murder. She is very smart. She has figured out the identities of all these serial killers who come to these dinner parties, which means she's smart enough not to get caught. The only real question is, why would she start working for Prater? Why wouldn't she continue what she's doing? And I think episode 5 gives us a hint at it. We find out that her mother has cancer, and hospital bills are pretty expensive. And if Prater is willing to pay for those bills, it makes sense why Charlie would be working for him. Though we know all the people who go to these dinner parties get a nice little payday. So maybe there's another reason she would have quit the murders. Her mother obviously needs her, so if she would get caught, it wouldn't be good. Which could explain why she works for Prater. It's a safer line of work, and she occasionally still gets to commit a murder. The last person I think it could be, and it's a bit of a long shot, but it could be Detective Wallace. She's very good at catching serial killers. She told Harrison exactly what he did that night to Ryan Foster. Like, she may be on the same level as Dexter for detective skills. So for her not to have caught the New York Ripper means this person is very careful, very smart. But if you're the one doing the murders, obviously you're not going to turn yourself in. The only thing that throws a wrench in this, that Prater knows who the New York Ripper is because of the display he has in his vault. So that means she's probably been invited to those dinner parties, which would kind of ruin it because her job is to catch killers. And she's very good at her job, so it would kind of be a conflict of interest because she would just see a bunch of the people she's supposed to catch. But we have seen in this show law enforcement be the murderers. James Dokes, for instance, was the Bay Harbor Butcher. Who saw that coming? Who do you think the New York Ripper is? Leave it down in the comments below. And if you want more Dexter Resurrection content, please subscribe and like the video. Check out the Twitter link in the description below. And as always, have an awesome day.